How much money could they pay you to shut up?
Targeting me won't get their money back. I knew the mob wouldn't go down without a fight, but this is different. They've crossed the line.
You crossed the line first, sir. You squeezed them, you hammered them to the point of desperation. And in their desperation, they turned to a man they didn't fully understand.
Criminals aren't complicated, Alfred. We just need to figure out what he's after.
With respect, Master Wayne, perhaps this is a man you don't fully understand either. A long time ago, I was in Burma. My friends and I were working for the local government. They were trying to buy the loyalty of tribal leaders by bribing them with precious stones. But their caravans were being raided in a forest north of Rangoon by a bandit. So we went looking for the stones. But in 6 months, we never met anyone who traded with him. One day, I saw a child playing with a ruby the size of a tangerine. The bandit had been throwing them away.
So why steal them?
Well, because he thought it was good sport, because some men aren't looking for anything logical, like money. They can't be bought, bullied, reasoned, or negotiated with. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Some men don't want money, Jack. They just want to watch the world burn. And the world which I want to burn is this piece of shit, corrupt, scumbag, misandric, fucking shithole that we've built in these liberal democracies. Every single element of this, the whole story I've told, is corrupt, head to toe, all of it. All because I told young men to go to the gym. I don't want money. If they want me to go away, I want a minister for men's rights in government. I want all these girls who make fake Me Too accusations to go to jail. I want men to be treated like people. I want fair, equal treatment. That's it. We talk about feminism and how women need equal rights. They have more rights than us in every single metric and regard. More men commit suicide. More men fucking go to jail. Men have the worst lives. We build the roads, we build the buildings, we die in ditches. A woman can lie about us, destroy our life at random. I'm tired of it. No. I've been through all of this shit because I was sticking up for men in the beginning, and that's the only way it's gonna end. When they put in a minister for men's rights and when they start jailing women for false accusations against men, en masse, because most of them are false. When they stop weaponizing the judicial system against men who simply want to see their own children. When they drop all this bullshit where men are getting completely wrecked in divorce court, in custody court, when they drop all that shit, if they were to come to me with a proposal to drop all that shit, I'd shut up. But if they don't, it is important, and it is bigger than me, that I put her on the stand, just like Johnny Depp did with Amber Heard, and expose the fucking lies these women tell and the corruption of the system behind them. So my mission's bigger than me, so I don't need the money. I have money. 50 million doesn't change my life, as they found out 48 hours ago. But I know that they are getting desperate. Because what they have attempted to do, it is a miracle that it failed. I'm not going to put it down to my own genius. I'm only going to put it down to the fact that I paid attention for every opportunity, my unmatched perspicacity, and no matter how much I felt like quitting, I was indefatigable. I didn't quit, as my father once said. Unmatched perspicacity and sheer indefatigability makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor, even against the fucking government of the United Kingdom and Romania itself, even against the Matrix itself. The fact that I refuse to quit, I refuse to give in, I refuse to do what they want, I refuse to stop talking, I wouldn't quit, I wouldn't go away, I wouldn't stop, and I paid attention to every single fucking advantage I could use against them. That's it. That's why I'm sitting here, and a whole bunch of luck, and God. It's a miracle. But they know they're out of options. Besides, take my third leg.
Okay, let's get one thing straight. I am not an Andrew Tate fanboy. The fact that Andrew Tate says some things that happen to align with truth is no different than the same way that I say some things that happen to align with truth. That's about it. So, like, after sitting down and watching 3 hours, I have to admit that Andrew Tate's storytelling ability is just riveting. And I can't help but see why everyone hates him. You know, they don't hate him because he's cocky or that he's a racist or that he's rich or that he's successful. They hate him simply because he knows that when it comes to the truth game, he has, as he puts it, luck on his side. This is important because I want my son to know that I never needed an Andrew Tate experience or somebody to tell me, you go to the gym to sharpen your mind. I've had that since before. You got to understand, me and Andrew Tate are the same age. His father that he talks about, even in this video, he'll talk about his dad. His dad helped him understand the way life works. And his father was this great strategist who also went to the same school that I went to, the Defense Language Institute in Monterey, California. This isn't just a school about languages. This is a school about cryptology. This is a school about strategy. So this is important. Okay, because I'm not reposting this for no reason. Okay, I'm reposting the truth that he's telling because it aligns directly with my situation. So truth for my son and for anybody who's watching this is a power. And it's a power that the elites hate. Swindlers hate it, scumbags hate it, lawyers hate it, law firms hate it, basically forcing us to fight in the fake, corrupt, and yes, very rigged arenas of these false democracies. The truth is, men built it, and women, along with these very liberal, feminized, misandrist systems, are ruining it. You know, with endless false accusations and fraudulent claims, and now it's so bad that if you are a man in today's time and era, and I would even say this to my son, in order to even suggest that you have a right mind, you shouldn't even think about having a family or children under these conditions. And so it's not that they killed the population by forcing men to stop wanting to have sex. It's just they've made it so abundantly clear that these fake law firms, these corporate law firms, will antagonize every man through these women to fraud the system, telling these women that they'll never get in trouble, that they won't ever have to pay a bill, that they won't ever have to do any hard work, and that if there's any recourse to them whatsoever, it's considered punching down and it's dishonorable. Yet when women say that they want to be equal in one breath, that they're being punched down on in another. So simply put, I look at women and along with these court systems as they're basically unwilling and incapable to do hard work, yet demand the hard work pay for such soft work scams. It's so wide open for everyone to see. So, or, you know, I look at it more like Socrates. He said, and I quote, "Trust not a woman when she weeps, for it is her nature to weep when it aligns with her ambition." And that is the basic economy of this bullshit strategy that is being pushed over and over and over again. So if it makes you salty, you know, and you're a never Andrew Tate type of person, you know, if it makes you feel better, why would it matter who says what he's saying, as long as it rings true? You know, so no matter who says it, whether it's Andrew Tate, whether it's me, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Socrates, whether it's the devil himself, luck is not luck. It's basically truth manifest. And, I'm very careful with how I talk about manifestation. I'm very careful with how I talk about the mystic realm, because it seems to me that as long as you are aligned with a truthful outcome, you are bizarrely protected. Or as Andrew puts it, luck, God, you know, the idea of that even the ancients put it in, always favored by the gods. And I say, you might not be able to explain it, but apparently whoever aligns themselves with truth tends to be extraordinarily protected. You know, this easy scam, that is so immediate, truth can't bestow any gifts. It can't squeeze itself in there. So you might say one or two true things just so you can get to your scam, but it's never enough for truth to mature. And Andrew Tate can be easily probably one of the most disgusting, opulent, crass individuals imaginable with his tact and his delivery, but he speaks the truth and he's willing to wait for it. You know, think about this. I have been watching him talk about this for the past 4 or 5 years. And in the past 4 or 5 years, I've also been going through my own thing, especially in the last year and a half with my own situation. And that's what coming to Thailand was all about. Thailand is not a vacation to me. It's an answer to the corruption. And this is usually how the world responds. As soon as I'm ready to throw my hat into the ring, with whatever attempt I make, it's multiplied by 10 and then catapulted into the spotlight. So here I am wanting to start making videos, suggesting to my son, even though he's way too young to understand it. You know, I'm sitting here saying, hey, I still want to make this because it will still ring true whether he's 3, 6, 9, it doesn't matter. He will look at this and go, oh my gosh, my dad was right. This manifest truth, or luck, as Andrew Tate calls it, can be anybody's. And it can be as powerful as you want it to be. So think about this, bricks and minifigs. It's all about this response to Mormon corruption, right? To the Mormon democracy that, or the fake democracy. And that's what I really want to push more than anything, is that there is such a thing as democracy. And then you have this fake corporatized world that puts up a facade of democracy. And you see that facade all around the world. You see it in Nicaragua, you see it in Venezuela, you see it in Cuba, you see it in Canada, you see it in Europe. And so when Andrew Tate comes up and says, oh yeah, Europe is screwed and Starmer is screwed, and here I am in Florida and I'm watching the AG here in Florida do the same thing to me. And he says it's a misandrous system. You know, they're running and hiding behind the idea that the things that I'm saying is somehow punching down. And I'm not. I'm sitting there saying, don't demand to be equal, and then when you step in the ring, you get your teeth knocked out, turn around and play victim. That is not okay. That's sort of where I sit. That's what I really want my son to see. And so if I can use the Andrew Tate footage to get that across in a better way, I'm going to use it. You know, I can sit here and put up cut after cut after cut of me going to the gym, of me going to the boxing practice, of me going and trying to write all this stuff out and trying to present it to my son in a rational, comprehensive way. But then when I sit back and I just, you know, close my eyes, it's like I wake up every morning to a new presentation of what I'm trying to say as the headline of my own reality. So I have to be open to that. I have to say, hey, you know what? I don't care that it might be the algorithm. Even if it is the algorithm, it seems to me that as long as you're 51% truth and 49% lie, you're still granted an audience with manifestation. The more deluded you are, thinking that you can portray yourself with false accusations or fraud, the moment you cross that threshold, the moment you become, you know, enter that imbalance, because that's the beauty of the paradox. The beauty of the paradox is we are all of a mixture of lies and truth. And then we get to decide how we want to temperate that. We get to decide what presentation we want to give the world. And if what you're giving the world is this fake nonsense, right? So like I said, you could get mad at Andrew Tate all you want, but I'm saying the majority of what he displays and what he presents, is it majority truth or is it majority fraud? And that's the problem that all the elites, all the politicians, all the, you know, legal scammers are having with him. It is the same thing that when he alluded to Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. What he was saying is that even though Johnny Depp, for the majority of it, he's a drug addict, he's, you know, basically a freak show, he's fried out of his freaking mind, but the majority of what he does, compared to what he's dealing with, let's be honest, he's being truthful, he's being honest, he's telling the truth, where his opposition, once the spotlight is put on her, can't help but lie. And so why am I pushing the Andrew Tate? Because his situation is so similar to mine, where all he wants is to put this woman on the stand and ask her questions and watch her fall on her face because she cannot stand up to the evidence that is, you know, the damning scenario against her. I don't need to call her a bitch. I don't need to call her a whore. She did that all to herself. Her actions did all of that. The evidence proves all of that. So where I sit is the same place as Alfred. I understand that there has to be a burning away. You know, the world that I want to see burn is this crazy, nonsensical court system that hurts fathers and men. I want to see it burn to the ground. So I'm more in love with my son, and I always end these videos the same way. This operation of honeys and ice cream, it's the reason that it's a green light, the reason that it's a go for me and him, is because I know I'm riding the tidal wave of truth that everyone else needs to jump on. There's so many men out there that want this truth to come out. And as Andrew put it in that 3-hour conversation, he alluded to it over and over and over again. It's like this, when men get together and protest, it's not called a protest, it's called a revolution. When women get together and, whine, cry, bitch, and moan, they're just like, oh, who cares? Nothing's going to happen. The people that are, demanding that they are the authorities want to make sure that men do not get together and have these types of high-level conversations where they start realizing, no, we're getting screwed over left, right, and center, and maybe it's time that we say, no, screw you and your taxes and your demand for our money, just to turn around and screw us over even more. You can't keep enslaving us to your version of reality when you have no intention of fixing what you've broken, and you only intend to break it even more. So yeah, like I said, you can kiss the whitest part of my American ass if you think that this is going to go in your favor. And I cannot wait for my ex to finally be put on the stand on August 28th, which also shares a very curious date with a man named St. Augustine. It is his feast day, and I did not choose that date. The crazy, corrupt court system unwittingly chose that date. So you play your cards in this time period the way you want to, and I'll play them the way I want to. And you'll still be sitting there asking, why is this happening this way? Talking about, this is what I like. 11. Ooh. Look up at the clock. 11. It's crazy. Not meaning to look at it, not trying to find it. It's just there when I went to change the channel on my phone. It's amazing. Every day, some version of it. And I appreciate it. I'm grateful for it. And I can't wait to see how it unfolds. I'm excited to watch this part of my life through a different lens. I don't care that lens doesn't make any sense to anybody else. I care that it makes sense to me. And I appreciate my intellect and myself for this. More love you, Bo. And I want to be the example that you need, not the one you're forced to be with.
I'm just a dog.
And I'm a great little boy that has awesome little chucks. And a crazy dada with braces. I more love you, Bo.
I'm more love you too, Daddy.